This is just a short presentation regarding the Western Engineering Competition, and it's going to be happening between January 7th to 9th, 2022.
So what is WEC? The Western Engineering Competition, or WEC, is an annual weekend-long engineering competition that takes place at Western. The competition brings together Western students from all disciplines and years to compete in their choice of 10 various competition categories where at least one of the categories caters to your given faculty. The competition is a great opportunity for students to bring all of the knowledge learned in the classroom and put it to the test. It is also a great place to socialize, make friends, and gain new experiences.
Essentially, the way that WEC works is every engineering school in Canada has an engineering competition. And if you win that competition, in this case, the Western Engineering Competition, you move on to the Ontario Engineering Competition. And at the Ontario competition, you're representing Western at a provincial level, competing against all of the best kids in Ontario. Then, if you win the Ontario Engineering Competition, you move on to the Canadian Engineering Competition, where you'll be representing Western on a national level and competing against schools from all across the country.
This year, we've partnered with various courses to offer bonus marks to students for competing in the competition. Here's a list of the various courses that have partnered with us this year and which competitions they'll be offering bonus marks. First term courses do have a deadline for bonus marks listed here. Please sign up before these deadlines to ensure you receive the bonus marks. Full year courses and second term courses don't have a set deadline for bonus marks. The registration for those bonus marks will close when the registration for the competition closes, which is the end of December. Students do not need to win their category to receive the bonus mark. To receive the bonus mark, students only have to participate in one of the categories offered by that course. So here's an overview of the 10 various categories that is offered at WEC. Next, we're going to go through a brief description of each of the categories.
The first competition is junior design, and this is for first and second year students in teams of 4. And the way it works is you're tasked with coming up with a prototype over the weekend and presenting it to a panel of judges at the end of the weekend. Very similar to what you've seen in your first year design class.
Next, we have senior design. Senior design is a competition designed for all undergraduate students. It is a competition where students are tasked with a problem and they have to come up with some kind of prototype to help solve that problem. It is very similar to junior design, except for it's a little bit more complex where you'll have to be using motors, actuators, and Arduinos to solve your problem. Students will have limited materials and will have to construct the prototype within a given time limit. This competition is very similar to junior design, except for it just has a little bit of a technical aspect.
Now, the programming competition is with teams of students in up to 4, where they're given a prominent problem facing society today, and you have to create a solution to this problem using industry quality software and programming languages. Now, you're going to be graded on how well you solve the solution to this problem, and a good way to put this competition is it's very similar to your standard hackathon.
Next up, we have Mini Design. Mini Design is a competition designed for grade 11 and 12 students. If you guys know any high school students, be sure to let them know about this competition. This competition is very similar to junior design, except for it's designed for high school students. The competition is to promote engineering and to high school students. The students will be given a problem and will have to come up with a prototype within a given time limit and limited materials. The students will be graded on how well their design accomplishes the task and how well they demonstrate their design process in a short presentation.
The next competition is consulting. And students in groups of 4 are basically coming up with a solution to a case very similar to the cases that you saw in Business 1220 in first year. The best way to put this competition is it's very similar to a traditional case competition.
Next up, we have debate. Debate is a competition where students will work in pairs and must argue for or against a topic. The debate competition functions in a tournament-style competition where students will continuously compete until they win. Students will be graded on how well they argue for or against a topic to decide who is the winner of the debate.
The next competition is innovative design. Engineering students in groups of 6 are basically coming up with a fully fleshed prototype ahead of time before the competition, where they then present this to a panel of judges and have to justify the feasibility of it. This competition, in other words, is very similar to Dragon's Den. To provide an example, the team that won WEC last year for innovative design created a device with an Arduino that converts sign language into text.
Next up, we have communication. Communication is a competition where students working in individuals or pairs will have to give a presentation about a pre-chosen topic about technology or a current issue. The best way to describe this competition is you'll have to present your idea to a panel of judges and explain it in layman terms. Basically, anyone that wouldn't have background information should be able to fully understand your topic and the point of your presentation.
The next competition is bioengineering. In this competition, students are tasked with coming up with a solution to a biomedical-oriented problem. An example of something that we've seen in the past is students were required to create a cast for someone's leg. This competition, however, does not require people to manufacture a prototype or anything. You just come up with the design and then present it to a panel of judges.
Next up, we have re-engineering. Re-engineering is a competition where students work in individuals or pairs and will have to take an existing technology and try to improve upon it by re-engineering it. The goal is to enhance its original functionality or add completely new functionality to your design. Students will be judged based on their originality, feasibility, practicality, and marketability.
Now, there's a lot of other really cool events that are going to be happening at WEC. Firstly, we have the career fair. Students are going to be given the opportunity to meet with a bunch of different companies and sponsors with the hope that you might be able to use these connections to benefit yourself in the future. Next, we're going to be having a WEC social. We haven't quite decided yet where this is going to be, but we're probably going to do something like a movie theater for certain students and also have a bar night. Next, we're going to also have a banquet. The banquet is going to be where we're going to be presenting all of the winners of the competitions and presenting them with their awards. Now, my favorite part of the competition is probably the workshops because it gives students something that they get out of joining WEC. And the way that the workshops work is we bring in a bunch of different companies and clubs to give sort of educational seminars on certain softwares and experiences that they've had maybe in business. And finally, we're going to be doing a bunch of fun giveaways throughout the weekend, some swag, and maybe some gift cards, really just stuff along those lines.
So this brings us to the end of our presentation. Competition registration is open now on our website. If you scan the QR code in the bottom right corner, that'll take you to our website where you can register now. Registration is $8 and registration will close at the end of December. If you would like to get more information about the competition, please go to our website or follow us on social media. Thank you for listening to our presentation and we hope to see you at the competition.